Hello, everybody. It's been a while since I made a video, but this is an exciting one. I've enjoyed actually putting everything together, and I want to get right to it. Thank you, everybody, for being patient with the project. And here we go. So let's talk about what has been accomplished in the recent months, specifically starting with our raise and to the present, and of course, what we want from the future. All right, let's get right to it. So, NoLimitCoin, No Limit Technology Holdings, which is the company that was formed in Nevada that raised the initial round of money and potentially will do further rounds as we move forward. All right, so let's talk about the milestones that have been achieved. We had a successful initial raise of 100,000. It was small because a new company may not raise more than 106,000 actually until it is audited. We created the company in Curacao. We obtained an online gaming license, which was very exciting. It was an arduous process. They actually did a lot of due diligence. So I'm happy to say we got cleared there. We passed MetaMask wallet integration and operation to our DFS game. Our audit, which I thought was going to be a slam dunk 2 weeker, but it turned into almost 2 months. But I'm happy to say that we cleared it, and just the reason was the accounting firm was very thorough, and I'm actually glad because they helped us set up all kinds of internal controls and made sure that everything was set. So going forward, we basically look, feel, and have an internal system of a public company. We have been developing or implementing the Bet Construct sportsbook, live casino games, virtual games. It's so extensive. I've been in training for a couple of weeks. I still have more training to go. Very, very exciting. I'm going to show you a little bit of that. And we're going to talk about everything that's going on with the coin, with the token, the swap, the API, and of course, our advisory team. So here we can see that we actually oversold our maximum, which was 106,000. So a couple of investors had their money refunded because they didn't reach, essentially it oversold, and RegCF doesn't allow over 106,000 or 107,000 if you have not been audited. So we use this initial round to kind of bring in the groups, a lot of people that have been with us for years now, so they got a nice chance to get in at a pretty decent price. Here we can see the integration of the MetaMask wallet into our DFS game. So now we can deposit the token. We can also deposit NLC2. So essentially, we are a multi-chain platform right now, even though eventually we will consolidate everything into NLC token, the Binance BSC token, as you can see. So essentially, you're able to deposit either NLC2 or NLC. So essentially, the DFS platform also serves as a swapping platform for those who would want to use it. You can also see that you can withdraw either to NLC2, which is still on the exchanges, and NLC token. In March of 22, which is only 4 months away, the swapping period will end. And even before that, the exchanges are going to start turning into NLC token, and we're going to expand to more centralized exchanges besides PancakeSwap and whatever other pairs we set up in PancakeSwap. I'd really like to have USD pairs, so that will be something going forward. This is an extremely important slide. It basically shows our establishment in Curacao, a gaming-friendly country. And if you look at many of the companies that have raised tremendous amounts of money, you'll see that most of them will have a base in Curacao, Malta, and other places. So we have started with Curacao. We went through the due diligence process, which is not that short, actually. It was not just a rubber stamp type environment, but they really did look, and they wanted to make sure that you're a good operator. So we were awarded our gaming license, which I was very excited to get. Of course, before that, we had to establish, and you can see No Limit Technology International, which is essentially a subsidiary of No Limit Technology Holdings out of Nevada, which is what we did the initial round for. So bravo for this. This is, major step. And there we are, because when you see what we're doing with the betting protocol, the sports books need to be able to go somewhere to actually legally trade and book bets, on top of which BetConstruct also will only allow us to operate where we have certifications. This is also a major accomplishment. As I mentioned, we submitted ourselves to an audit in order to be able to raise more money through the SEC exemptions or SEC rules. And I have to, be very careful right now in terms of reiterating, this is not an offer to sell additional securities. We're talking about the previous round, and we really can't talk about any further rounds specifically until they're actually live. So I have to maneuver the rules clearly, but the audit does allow a company to raise the max of 5 million under CF, or actually go to A+ and raise over 50 million. We're not really saying or declaring what exemption rule we're going to pursue, but once we do open for a potential raise, if and when, then everybody will know. But here, this very, very important letter shows, and you can see the red boxes basically say we encountered no significant difficulties in performing and completing our audit. Big, very important line on an audit. And the second box says, we are pleased to report that no such disagreements arose during the course of the audit. So the auditors were happy with us. They went through every single transaction. I mean, there was no transaction too small, too big, crypto, non-crypto, the exchanges. So very, very thorough, to the benefit of the investors. So it wasn't a problem for me to, keep every single day, new things. What's this transaction? What's that transaction? So everything went from, yeah, we could do it in 2 weeks to 2 months. And then if you guys might recall that during the initial round on TrueCrowd, because most people, here, let me go back to that slide. You can see there's 47 investors plus the founding investors. So we're getting close to 60 investors. I mean, it's already basically a public company. And now our accounting was basically cleared for takeoff, which I'm very proud of. So now we're a company with audited financial statements, with the ability to go out and raise more money on that end. And here we can look at this amazing platform that will be coming live this quarter, before the end of this quarter. I can't pinpoint the date, but we're working, every single day to tweak it, to organize it, to determine what games we want to operate. Here we could see the sports platform live means in the game as the games are going. I've been getting all kinds of training, security, promotion, CRM, live streaming. So very, very exciting. We're going to need a whole team to run this platform 724, including people on the phone. We're going to want to have, because I've called a lot of other books, studied them, and I really like the ones that have people on the phone selling really hard. Hey, come on, deposit $500, I'll give you another 500 bonus. So I like that whole aspect of it. So you can expect live operators being able to take your questions, take deposits, and so forth. Here we can talk about pre-match, which is basically when you're betting on a game, and when you're betting on a game before the game has started. So we call it pre-match, versus live, that is during a game when you are actually playing. So all right, let's stop recording just a little bit. We can look at the pre-match page, and it's very extensive. You can see all the sports on the left. There's a lot more than what is showing here on this menu. MMA is going to be in there. It doesn't show there. I know there's a lot of MMA fans. We're finally going to be there. Cricket's in there. All the US sports, all the European soccer matches. Incredible amounts of opportunity to capture business. Of course, we're going to have probably more than 100 slot machines and video poker and just these types of games, and some of them will have good jackpots, and you could hit those, so get ready for that. This is probably one of a lot of people's favorite, also myself. We're going to have up to 10 different live casino games where you're looking at the dealer, where you can chat with him or her. You could see them shuffling the cards. It's not an RNG based game, so a lot of people enjoy this type of live action. So I'm excited about that too. Esports, we've been talking about esports for a long, long time. We're finally going to have it, and I'm happy to announce that it's part of this package. Virtual sports, no racing, no virtual greyhounds. Hey, create your own. So the system creates an auto-generated game. You can bet on the outcome. Now, this is an RNG-based game, so that could be very fun also. There's all kinds of other games that are all going to be powered by NLC, which I've tried a few of them. Some of them I really love, like Blast. It's not shown here, but a lot of people saw it and they kind of agree with me. So we're waiting for that. And we will have a buy-in page where you can use multiple cryptos to buy into NLC2, Visa, MasterCard. We're not sure yet about Alipay and Asia. And any coin that gets purchased directly through our platform will have an additional 10% premium on top of whatever the exchange is showing. And then we're going to buy that exact amount from the exchanges and keep that 10% as commission. So anything that gets purchased here will end up making it to the exchanges. That's a very important aspect. So we're not really selling coin. We're using some of our 8+ million that we have in our company's treasury to sell it, but then recuperate. All right, let's talk about the NLC token swap process. Where are we? Where are we at with that? So here we can see that we've had 224 million sent in. About 221 has been swapped. So I'm always behind a little bit. We're checking, making sure that they're good, then we release it. All right, let's talk about the bullet points. I put them in there, right? Build on NLC token. So we're building an API that's going to allow not just our game, but anybody to incorporate NLC into their platform easily, and staking actually will travel that. So other games will be able to say, hey, we've got this token that not only is well-known gambling token, but it will generate a staking reward, even if you just keep it in the wallet. So I'm very sure that platforms will appreciate that. Our platform has over 150 million staked. So we're love to see that. The API is going to be easy to integrate into other games. And you can see here, we're going to do a 25 million coin burn in November to test the burning process. And I'll explain right now where that 25 million is coming from and all the wallets, right? So we also plan to start migrating our two exchanges from NLC2 to NLC token. So if you have coin there, they'll be converted automatically when they merge, or you can pull them out and do the swap the way everybody else has been doing it. We definitely are planning on bridges into Ethereum specifically and other large tokens in order for us to be a cross-chain token, because we want to be able to attract not just BSC-based bets, but also Ethereum and all the other major tokens. And you can see how the staking rewards right now, they're at their highest level, 20%. Everybody's enjoying that. I'm enjoying it also. And as the years pass and we reach year 5, staking is going to go away and the token will become a deflationary only. Right now, it's inflationary because of the staking. But once the platforms start burning fees, then it'll become deflationary. And once there's no more staking and it's only burning fees, it'll become 100% deflationary. You know, even Ethereum burns, but it also creates with, but 1559, that's a whole different story, right? All right, so swap window expires March 22nd. And you can see on the right here, there's 20 million in the liquidity pool. There's 131 BNB that fluctuates up and down, and all the liquidity pool providers make commission out of that. So it's a good deal for everybody. And we're going to add also the rewards wallets down here so everybody can keep track. But you can see there's only been 224 swapped. I know the exchanges have pretty big wallets, so that's, but I don't think we're going to exceed 450 or 500 around there. But we have to wait and see really what happens when we swap the exchanges and then everybody, you know, last minute swaps. But I'm sure it's not going to be the full 633. All right, so circulation. Let's talk a little about what's going on with circulation. So NLC2 is at 633 right now because we're halfway through the whole swap period. And when we started, it was 622. So at 4%, the estimate was about 24 million, almost 25. So I took 647 and basically applied as if 100% of those tokens were going to be stakes, which is far from reality. Right now, we're at 220, about 200, about 150 in the game, and 20 at the liquidity pool. So what I'm saying here is that 25 million is going to come from the first year's budget, which was 129 million for staking. But because it's not, you know, the full 777 that you can see there, far from it, we're going to be burning at the end of the year. We're going to say, okay, we didn't use this amount of budget, burn. So we're going to do a sample test burn for a full 25 million, over $100,000. And we'll document it. We'll make a video of it. and continue with regular burns. And then, of course, the betting protocol will actually be burning hopefully every second. We can see here the 67 million is the pool that we use to pay for the LP liquidity pool providers. And there's also insurance fund there for tragic situations, which we've been able to help people, recover their coin. It hasn't been used that much. We scrutinize, obviously, any transaction that applies for it, and you don't get 100%, but at least we can protect from, extreme situations. And with that in mind, make sure that the Cryptopia people go and fill their documentation with Grant Thornton, and then send in an email showing your claim, and then we can proceed to that. All right, very important, future milestones. We're going to update the roadmaps on the website. They're not, the graphics and that cool roadmap that Anthony made. We're updating that. So that's one other thing. Certainly fundraising. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I can't go into, how we're going to do it, what SEC exemption we're going to do, if any, until we actually open that round. So I want to be very careful and not give any details. But what you can do, if you're interested to find out regarding potential investment in the company, is click on the links that I'm going to post in this video, fill in your information. That'll put you on the investor information and potential future investor package list. We're also setting up our international casino and sports books. You saw that. Very huge platform. It should attract many, many players, all powered by NLC. Very exciting. We also want to apply for sports book licenses in the United States, and that's one of the huge priorities. Certainly the betting protocol is really the end game, the piece, the smart contract that's going to allow NoLimitCoin to power probably the most powerful wholesale sports bets in the world. We really, the way I'm seeing it, the way I explain it is, we want to be the NASDAQ of sports betting. Physical poker room proposition in Texas, discussion and possible vote by shareholders. I'll explain that a little bit. Of course, marketing is a huge deal. It's really what we need. Once we have all our platforms set up, all our games set up, we must do proper marketing, affiliate marketing, channel marketing, and everything in the middle. There's all kinds of professionals that we will bring on to help us with that. Of course, our team will expand, developers, marketers, platform operators, customer service, people on the phone. Of course, we talked about that 25 million burn in November. The bridges, excuse me, the bridges specifically to Ethereum and to the other token platforms, move the exchanges from NLC2 to the NLC token, and get into many more centralized exchanges, but they have to be top level exchanges. We really don't want to do anything with smaller exchanges. And if you were to ask me to describe in one sentence what's the ultimate goal of the project of the company, would be a listing on NASDAQ, which we hope and target and are shooting for it to happen in 2022. All right, next slide. All right, the betting protocol, really the piece of software, the piece of this whole magical world of crypto plus smart contract that's going to turn NLC into a must-have. We're going to invite not really our competitors, but potential clients. We're going to invite them to participate as founding members. As such, they will have benefits, potentially very big benefits. So that's going to be something that we're going to do before we actually deploy what we call the betting protocol, where it's going to allow existing sports books to cross bets with each other using crypto, and most importantly, non-custodial smart contracts. Meaning if one book wants to book a bet for $1 or $5 or $10 million, they don't have to fund us and send us the money, which is the big deal right now. In order to do anything with any sports book, first you have to send your deposit in, and if you want to deal with 6 different sports books, then you have to send deposits into every single one of those, which really limits you to as much capital as you have, and then that capital is tied up. But in the non-custodial environment, everybody gets to keep their capital in their wallet, moves to a smart contract. When the contest is over, then the money gets redistributed. Fees for NLC get burned, fees for the platform operator get paid, and essentially it's a 5 or more party smart contract, which is really going to revolutionize sports betting. And we're going to reach out with letters to all the major sports books that you see here, and we're going to assure them that they will only be trading with verified and legitimate sports books operators. We don't want to be a magnet for illegal sports betting at all, and we want to make that very, very clear to our clients. If you want to trade on our betting protocol, we will go through extensive KYC. You're going to do it under the Curacao gaming license, and it can't originate from the United States, but even the US-based sportsbooks operators have international operations where they will be able to originate their sportsbook traffic. And then those contracts are going to trade during the life of a game. So basically, a contract could trade many, many times. So even if we're making, a tenth of a point, if it trades 5 or 10 times during the life of a game, we just made, 10 times that, or a full point, or whatever the number is. And I'm talking about the fees for NLC, which burn. Okay, there was an item there on future potential milestones. Johnny Chan, my great friend, big NLC holder, stockholder, loves the project, the most patient man alive. But he still called. He's like, Rafael, what's happening? I said, Johnny, you play the main event every year. You're willing to sit there and try to make the final table when there's 6,000 people there, and it'll take days and many. Hey, same situation here, right? We have to go through everything. And he just he's like, you're right, Rafael, let's just go for it. But he's got the very, very successful poker room in Houston. Like I said, anybody that's in Houston wants to, get the royal treatment from Johnny, just let me know. Call Johnny, say, Johnny, I got some people going to your poker room. But High Collegian here, he's also one of our advisors, also stockholder. His kids are stockholders. He called me and said, Rafael, it might be a good time to look to expand on Johnny's operation. We can do it on the cheap. I said, yeah, we can rent a place. He said, no, Rafael, just find an existing food type environment where they have room for maybe 10 or 20 poker tables, and we'll get the right people in there. We'll get money in there. So I thought, that might be an interesting angle for NoLimitCoin, which is something we're going to discuss with the shareholders and potentially put up for a vote. So that's why I mentioned that here. But I had a big, long conversation with High. He's so knowledgeable in the subject, and he said it's the right moment, potentially, given the legal environment, of course, making sure that everything is properly done. to potentially expand and operate not one, but multiple physical poker rooms, which we'd have to develop a cage app, which wouldn't be hard at all, driven by NoLimitCoin. And that could be an interesting option for the company. So it's something we're going to discuss as shareholders of the company. We might get to the point where we take a vote once we have resources to be able to do that, or potentially a partner that I might have contacted and said, hey, you've got this restaurant, you've got this big room in the back. Why don't we put a big poker room? You service us with the food and the drinks. We'll bring, hundreds of people. Johnny's running $1 million guaranteed poker tournaments in Houston. He said, anytime, we want to start running satellites, which we will, do it. So that's part of the plan. I just wanted to show you, I was mining Bitcoin, back in 2014. The only reason I'm showing this, not that I mined 2 Bitcoin per person that invested $1,750. I hope they kept them. I mined a few, but I've been trying to push this whole project. So really, I was not one of those that held on huge to BTC, but still super excited that the market's, 2.5 trillion. It's just that much more capital that can come to NoLimitCoin. I love our position. And I just wanted to show you that, just to let you know that just like I felt about Bitcoin back then, this is what I feel about what we're doing now. Here's our team. Oscar, my great friend, he's been with me, in all the projects. He's a very, very accomplished executive. We talk often. Dan and Cam, they invested very significantly. They also hold significant coin. So from that point of view, they actually invested into the company, which is, a rare situation for them, because normally people are throwing money at them. Come on, cover my project, cover my this. But in this case, they are investors. I talked to them and they're great for the project, heavyweights. Everybody on this list is a heavyweight. And of course, Haig, really Mr. California card room, but now he's still itching for more stuff. So he's like, Rafael, think about, card rooms in Houston. I'm like, yeah, in Texas with Johnny, myself. And he says that there's going to be a big talent pool that's going to be available. So I'm thinking, all right, let's talk about it. All right, so 2022 is really the exponential expansion year for NLC. There's everything under the sun that I just discussed that will basically become a draw demand on our beautiful, lovely coin that we love so much. And we all have the same vision, but we had to make sure everything was done legally so we can survive the long run, because we don't want to just be a fly-by-nighter. So that caused everything to get delayed. Remember, the first raise was supposed to happen quickly, but because more than 50% of the money that came in was crypto, which was unheard of, they didn't believe I was even going to get one. And I want to shout it out to Vincent, a class gentleman from True Crowd. I'm sticking with you. Great job. And we're talking for future projects. I can't go beyond that, but thanks a lot to all the holders. Really, everybody that supports the project, a lot of very passionate people. I know it's been years, but we're on the cusp. We're on the moment of truth. We're going to exponentially multiply our platforms many, many times with the protocol that will essentially make us the Uniswap of sports bets, the NASDAQ of sports bets. All right, on that note, I'll end it. Thank you very much for your time, for your patience, for your trust. I'm there until we get there. And you guys know that. And it might take long, it might take short, but we're not going anywhere. We're there. And everybody knows that. And of course, I wish we could, move with the rest of the market. But hey, that 2.5 trillion is just sitting there ready to look for great projects. And we're coming right behind this whole market that went from 1, 2, 300 billion just a short while ago to 2.5 trillion, which is way, way better. I understand the frustration of seeing all the other projects take off, and we seemingly are just not getting there or not moving. But you could see what we're doing. We're laying the groundwork, the foundation to legally operate platforms outside the United States, inside the United States. And that's what takes time. And then on top of that, the resources. So all the ducks in a row, like my last tweet. Again, thanks a lot. Have a great week. And send me more of that side action. I got killed this week, but hey, it couldn't have gone to better people. So all right, send me some more of that side action. But I'm having a lot of fun with the platform. I now play it as a player, which was really hard for me to do the first few years because I'd see all the imperfections. But now I'm playing it as a player, and that's a very important indicator. So again, I can't keep saying thanks enough. I love the position I'm in. It's a privilege to have a coin in these days where crypto was born. And that frustration is actually a good thing. It makes us just want to go for it. We know that everything can turn on a dime in this world. So we're there for the market. We're doing all of the things that we need to do. Once we finish the swap and we burn off all the excess coin, it's going to be incredible. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Bye-bye.